I don't know about you, but there's a special kind of satisfaction in pulling masking tape off of a finished paint job. One of those tiny little everyday joys that feels disproportionately good. Gripping the end of the tape, peel it back slowly, and watch for a crisp, perfect line that reveals itself. It's like unwrapping a present you gave yourself, reward from patience, prep work, and steady hands. With each inch, there's a small thrill, proof that the time you spent smoothing the tape down and painting carefully actually paid off. And then comes a moment of truth. The final pull, the tape snaps free, and for a brief moment, you feel like a master craftsman, someone who conquered chaos with nothing more than a roll of tape and a little patience. It's a joy revealing underneath effort, simple, clean, and weirdly delightful. After looking over the end result, I felt something was missing. On my Haven 12.5, I had painted a black boot stripe. Now it seemed to me that it helped punctuate the change in color. So I decided to add a black pinstripe. Following the recommendation of my local auto paint store, I purchased some Pro Stripe pinstripe tape. This pinstripe is considered durable, flexible, and weather resistant, holding up against car washes and environmental exposure. It uses a professional grade vinyl that is pressure sensitive adhesive that sticks firmly once the application is set, ensuring that the pinstripe stays in place even during pressure washing. It's designed for longevity. So, if it's good for a car and all of its exposure, I'm confident it'll perform well on my kayak. After getting the tape in place, I pressed it on with a J-roller, which is a hand tool used for applying a uniform pressure. It is essential for assuring a good adhesion and removing air bubbles. The J shape of the handle provides leverage for applying high pressure to the surface. After 24 hours, the adhesive sets. Then I was able to remove the clear protective top layer. Well, now that I've got that pinstripe on there, which I really like, I think it really sets it off nicely. What I need to do now is to start finishing some of the deck hardware, the hatch, and the seat. And one of the things is this pad eye, which goes back here on the aft deck of the kayak. So I'll get this centered here. When I had the boat upside down on the bottom side of the deck here, I glued a piece of plywood that I had sealed up, marine plywood, so that there'll be plenty of room for the screws to go in. So I just need to mark the holes here. And now that that's done, we can move on to the hatch. So the first thing we want to do to the hatch is to put this gasket material around the edge. important things about doing this is you don't want to pull on it and stretch it. You want it to lay down the way that it wants to relax. So this hatch cover goes on here like this, and what I need to do next is to take these little wing tabs and put these, there's 4 of them, to put them around here. So next thing I'm going to do is to position these where they belong, crossed here like this, and then drill a hole in here and put a machine bolt through there. So the next item we need to address is the seat. And the seat that comes with the kit is this, and it's a couple of pieces of high density foam that you would glue together, and then glue this to the seat down at the location that you want it. And then it has this for the back that would go along here. This works really good. There's nothing wrong with it. It comes with the kit, and I've sat in kayaks with this. It's pretty comfortable. However, my friends, Nikki and Jay, have a company called the Nautical Tailor. Now, this is what they call a bum voyage seat, and it sits in here like so. Now, one of the nice things about this is that it has this full backrest, which makes it a little bit more comfortable, and also it is designed here, and show you that it has a couple of high density foam pieces in here that you can adjust by taking some of those out, or to adjust it to the size that you want. And it is very similar to what that same high density foam is there. You can see it even has like an insert in here for where where your bum goes. So they're calling this, I think I said it was the bum voyage seat, and it is simply installed with these Velcro strips. And then there's a strip that will go along the back here, like so, to hold it in place. So it's pretty straightforward. We just need to adjust where we want it and peel these things off. And you'll see that these are Velcro. So you can see I can pull the whole thing off like that. So right now I'm just going to pull off the adhesive back. Because of that Velcro, then it's easy to remove if you want to clean the kayak out, whatever. So I'm going to position this about like that, and then just press it in where those Velcro things go, like that. And that's pretty well secured. And then the same thing will happen back here with the backrest. I'll put that on the combing like that. Oh, there we are. They does have these tabs on here, which you could tie a cord on there if it seems to move around, but pretty much it's pretty secure and it's going to be quite comfortable, I'm sure. So I'll put a link in the description to the nautical tailor. You're also going to be able to purchase these through Chesapeake Light Crafts website as well. While we're here in the cockpit, you can see where the foot pegs have been installed, and you'll remember in an earlier video where I put those little studs in there so that it did not have to go through the hull. So the next thing is to put our bungee cord across here. It's got quite dusty in here. The way this works is we want to be able to put this through the holes here. What we want to do here is create a figure 8 with our bungee cord. And then we just want to tie this off. So I'm going to cut off a piece and get a square knot put in there. The final thing here is a little rope for a handle. We put on the end here. Now you could have a wooden handle on here if you wanted to. I'm just going to tie it in a knot and be done with it. Now the reason I'm not going to put a handle on it is that when the handle's on there, it's bouncing around. So this way, this gets wet, it's no big deal. And nice and tight. There we go. With all of those tasks completed, it's time to go for a paddle. Well, it floats really great. It's very stable feeling. A beautiful day. We're it's like the November, what is today? The 14th. So we're pretty lucky that the weather has held out as well as it has. It's about 70 degrees out here today, so it's really quite nice. Really nice little paddle here. So this lake is a lake here in Eureka where my studio is located. So this lake is just about a mile from my studio. It's not a very big lake. The only thing you can really do on it is to paddle, either a kayak or a rowboat. You cannot have a motor on it. I'm intending to be able to paddle at my lake, which is much bigger. But this is pretty delightful today. Out there on the lake, the world got quiet in a way it only does when you're sitting in something you've built with your own hands. Every stroke of the paddle felt like a conversation between me and the kayak. The water slid along the hull so smoothly it almost felt like forgiveness for every misstep I made along the way, like putting the transom on the wrong end. As I think back, I think it's what I'll remember most. Not the perfect moments, but the imperfect ones that challenged me for a solution. This, I believe, is one of the most important parts of building a boat. Not just following the plans, but learning how this craft is an extension of you, the builder. A dialogue about making the boat yours. Because when I paddled today, it wasn't just a boat that stayed afloat. It was all those hours of problem solving and patience woven into the grain. Now, standing here with the sun dripping low and the kayak resting at my feet, I feel something settle in me, kind of a contentment that only comes from making something that carries you, literally and otherwise. I built a boat, and today it carried me across the water. An experience I wish of all of you. This summer, I invite you to build a wood duck with me in my studio, and below is a website where you can learn more. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, if you're going to make it beautiful.